Welcome back. Let's look at the 2020 preview for the Baltimore Orioles. Now, last year they went 54 and 108. They were the second to last team in the league in Major League Baseball itself, behind or above Detroit in win-loss record. They were last in the AL East. Obviously, they lost. They went 54 and 108, and they lost the second most games last year. Uh, They also gave up the most home runs in MLB history last year. I believe they achieved that feat before September. So their pitching was not great. And you can also blame it on other things like juice balls, which is a valid point. But they gave up the most in history by September. Or by August, I think. I think it was August. Pretty much, I think the goal for Baltimore, there's only one goal, I think. And that's not to lose 100 games. I don't think they need to lose 100 games. Because at the very minimum, they'd have to go, what? 64 and 99? I think. 63 and 99, maybe? If my math's rough around the edges, I think it's 63 and 99. Um, really the only thing they did in free agency other than the Dylan Bundy trade for three, I believe, prospects, three or four prospects, is they got Jose Iglesias, which is a nice plug in there at short because he's really good defensively. Not great with the bat, but he's really good on defense, and he can give you some timely hits. You can't count on him offensively like you can count on him defensively. Um, Now, key losses that they lost Jonathan VR. They traded him to the Marlins. I don't really know why. He was probably what? The second best, third best maybe. Probably second best um, position player on that team behind Mancini. Why you got rid of him, I don't really know. And they also lost Mark Trumbo to free agency. Now, with me making this video right now, it's the 12th of February. He has not. He could re-sign with the Orioles, but at the time of me recording this, he has not. So, if he does come back, then that's the good DH spot right there. He's could fill in that. That's his role, is pretty much just DH. He's got the power. Stuff to look out for this year, I think. Oh, and they also lost, like I said, Dylan Bundy to the Angels, but they got like three or four prospects back, and they were all pitchers, I think. But stuff to look out for. See if John Means can improve on last year. He had a really good year last year for his first full year. He went 12 and 11, had a 3.6 ERA in 31 games. He had 155 innings pitched to 121 strikeouts. So being in especially that division and being what you could say probably your first full year. He's only 26. His first full year, pretty good for Means. He was definitely the number one on that team. And I mean, you got like Alex Cobb. I don't even want to try and pronounce this guy's name. What, Chachowski? Jeez, I don't even know. And they got Stewart, I think, from free agency, if I'm not mistaken. So that's their first. That's their starting rotation, pretty much. And I mean, Means holds that. He holds down that rotation. Last year, let's see if he can do it again this year. Because if they're going to try and get wins, Means is going to have to carry him to those wins, pitching wise. I think another thing to look out for: see if Chris Davis can get a hit in the first couple weeks, 3 weeks of the season. Because last year he started out what 0 for like 60, 62, 63. He just and that carried over from last year, but he did not start off the season looking great. So if he could start off the season on fire this year, that would help out Baltimore fans, even though they don't like paying his contract. They don't like his contract anymore, which I don't blame them. And let's see if Trey Mancini can keep up his pace from last year. Because I mean, Mancini balled last year. He was the number one guy on that team. I mean, he played in 154 games, 602 at bats, 175 hits, 106 runs, 35 homers, 97 RBIs. Struck out 143 times, so not great. And he had a batting average of 291 and on base of 364, slugging of 535. Let's see if he can improve on last year, because he's undoubtedly the number one guy on that team, and see if he can keep up from last year. Because if so, then if they can put up some more runs, which is a little bit hard to do for the Orioles, that's their key to not losing 100 games, is that and having a bullpen that can close the door when it's needed, not giving up 4, 5, 6, 7 runs in the 8th and 9th innings, or the back 9 of the game, the 7, 8, 9 innings. And I think pretty much, like I said, where I think they'll place in the AL East, I mean, it's kind of easy. You got to pick them as last. Because, I mean, Toronto's better than them. Tampa Bay is better than them. Boston downgraded, but they're still better than Baltimore. And New York is going to win that division, most likely. So, I hope Baltimore, for the sake of their fans, do something this year. I think if they don't lose 100 games, that'll help. Yeah, they're still going to be under, like, they're going to, their win-loss record's going to be, like, 30 below 500 if that happens. But you gotta make little steps. And, I mean, they're drafting good, from the looks of it. I mean, you got a good farm system down there. You got Rutschman from last year, the catcher. And let's hope you guys can turn out these prospects, or turn these prospects out and make them good ball players. But yeah, I think they'll be last in the division. I think Means and Mancini are the two guys you're gonna have to look for this year. As like the team MVP is gonna be between those two guys. But yeah, that's the end of the video. If you guys liked it, press the like button, subscribe down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. Share this video with all your friends and buddies, and I will see you guys in the next video.